Team of the Year in NHL 25 is just 1 week away, and so far we are all left guessing on how expensive it will be or how the sets will look like, but there are a few things we know already. Hello YouTube and welcome back to another NHL 25 video. Today let's talk about NHL 25 Team of the Year event and what we know so far, because there are few things EA already shared. Firstly, EA already released all the nominees for the men's and women's Team of the Year cards. In all fairness, I really don't understand why they are saying it's a nominees, considering it's already decided, so it's not like it's some kind of vote and we can actually have our own input. And all these players are really already decided in December, and also the cards who are getting the Team of the Year card in NHL 25 are based on the real life performance, so yeah, really not a lot community can do about these picks. Another thing we know is that Team of the Year will be 2-week long event. Week 1 is dropping in January 24th, where Week 2 will be dropping in January 31st. It's also the first year we will see PWHL players getting a Team of the Year card. And I know we already seen a lot of women's Team of the Year cards in the prior years, but they were all based on the international performance, not in their PWHL career. So yeah, it's a small thing, but I'm happy about it. But the last thing what EA confirmed is that both events will drop at 1 PM Eastern and not 5 PM like we are used to see the content on Fridays. It was confirmed by EA, so yes, if you're ready for Team of the Year, make sure you are in the game at 1 PM Eastern time on Friday next week to see who will be getting that Team of the Year card. And we also will see the mixed cards from both leagues. So for example, in Week 1 we will see 6 forwards, and it will be 3 forwards from NHL and 3 forwards from PWHL. Where in Week 2 at 1 PM Eastern we will see 4 defenders, 2 from PWHL and 2 from NHL, and of course we also will see a goalie from each league. When we talk about the nominees, then in Week 1 from PWHL the nominees are Natalie Spooner, Marie-Philippe Poulain, Sarah Nurse, Alex Carpenter, Emma Maltais, Taylor Hazy and Brianna Jenner. From NHL we see players like Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, Leon Draisaitl, Nikita Kucherov, Artemi Panarin, Kirill Kaprizov and Matthew Tkachuk. So in my opinion it's actually quite easy to pick from NHL, because they're not looking at the current season, they're not looking at the previous season, they're looking at the calendar year. So if we look at the stats for, let's say, all the NHL from December 2023 all the way to December 2024, then Connor McDavid, Nikita Kucherov and Nathan McKinnon is obviously leading it. So in all fairness, that's an easy pick for me. When we talk about the PWHL, it's a little bit harder because we really don't know, will they use a calendar year or will they use just the previous season? In my opinion, they probably will just go with the season 1 in PWHL, and if that's the case, it's actually not that hard, because an example, Natalie Spooner was leading the league with the most points, following by Marie-Philippe Poulain, and Sarah Nurse was on the 3rd position. The reason why I'm picking these players for the NHL and PWHL is because from the prior years we know that they try to release, let's say, one line with Team of the Year players, because when we talk about the forwards we usually see left-handed winger, right-handed winger and someone who can play in a center position. So for NHL it would be like Connor McDavid in a center position, Nathan McKinnon as a right-handed winger, and Nikita Kucherov would be, let's say, a left-handed winger. And same thing goes about the PWHL. Marie-Philippe Poulain would be in a center, where Natalie Spooner would be a right-handed winger and Sarah Nurse as a left-handed winger. Also keep in mind that a lot of these cards already have, let's say, X-Factor cards. So that means, let's say, if Connor McDavid gets Team of the Year, and I'm very confident he does, his Supercharged X-Factor will also open more tiers for an upgrade. Same goes about Natalie Spooner. Nikita Kucherov also is there because he have a captain's card, and of course Marie-Philippe Poulain also have a PWHL X-Factor captain card. So 4 players straight away are receiving an upgrade. So if you don't really want to go and make, let's say, any Team of the Year cards, if you have any of those X-Factors, you're really not missing out. And the upgrades this year are so cheap. So in my opinion, it's actually a really decent value if you have the X-Factors. And yes, I know a lot of people probably will say Team of the Year cards are much better. And that's probably true, because they will probably have customizable synergies, and that's really something I'm missing from NHL 24. They also probably will have a free zone abilities, at least I hope they will. And if you look at the X-Factors, then only Connor McDavid and Natalie Spooner have a free zone ability. But you know what? If I can save myself 800k coins and just, let's say, use Nikita Kucherov X-Factor card, I'm all down for it. So from NHL forwards, I probably will really try to make Nathan McKinnon, because I think we don't have a lot of good right-handed wingers, and having Nathan McKinnon in your team for the rest of the year, it like locks that one player in, and you probably will always have one of the best players in your team. I also would like to make one of the PWHL players, but if Natalie Spooner and, let's say, Marie-Philippe Poulain are getting Team of the Year cards, I probably will not chase those, and I will just go and make their X-Factors. In Week 2 we'll see the defenders and the goalkeepers, and also EA released the nominees on Thursday. So for example, from PWHL we'll see players like Erin Ambrose, Megan Keller, Ella Shelton, Renata Fast and Savannah Harmon, with Kristen Campbell, Erin Frankel and Andrene Debiens as the goalkeepers. From NHL we've seen players like Evan Bouchard, Cale Makar, Quinn Hughes, Roman Josi and Adam Fox, and the goalkeepers will be Igor Shestyorkin, Connor Hellebuyck and Sergei Bobrovsky. Again, I think it's quite easy to pick the players from NHL because Cale Makar and Quinn Hughes is pretty much like locked in. Same goes with the Connor Hellebuyck, because in the end of the day, how you cannot give a Team of the Year card to the Vezina Trophy winner? It just doesn't make sense. But we did see something last year where everyone was so convinced that Quinn Hughes is getting a Team of the Year card and they gave it to Miro Heiskanen. Probably for people who have his, let's say, X Factor captain card, they would love to see Miro Heiskanen, but he was not even nominated. So unfortunately, the only card who could potentially get instead of Quinn Hughes would be maybe Evan Bouchard. I don't know. I probably would prefer Kel McCarr and Quinn Hughes because those cards usually play really good. But at the same time, I don't think I will make any of the Team of the Year defenders, at least not from NHL. When we talk about the PWHL, again, if we are just looking at the stats from previous season, then I think then it's quite clear that Ella Shelton will probably get a Team of the Year card. She also have X Factor captain card, so it would only make sense for EA to actually do that, so they can automatically upgrade 2 cards at the same time. And the right-handed defenseman probably would be Renata Fast, because she also had an incredible season, so those would be my 2 picks. I know a lot of people think Megan Keller could potentially get one, but I just think it doesn't make sense. Also, if you look at her stats, they were really not that great in the last season, so yes, she's a good player, but she was not there. I think Renata Fast was much better. So yeah, those would be my 2 defender picks from PWHL. And when we talk about the goalkeepers, I know no one really used PWHL goalkeepers, and I don't recommend because they're so small, but let's say if you're just playing offline and you want to use your favorite players, or let's say, I don't know, you pull the card untradeable in any of the packs, then you could potentially pull Kristen Campbell, because she had an incredible season and she will be my pick for a goalkeeper from PWHL. Definitely like some of the changes we will see in Team of the Year event. Of course, we don't know how much it will cost, what the sets will look like, and in general, how even the cards will look like. Will they even upgrade the cards? There is so many questions, but not enough answers. But the fact that we will see the mixed weeks, where we will see PWHL and NHL released in the same week, and then on the week 2 we'll also see the same, I think it's a W. I know a lot of people will focus only on NHL players, and that's absolutely fine. If you play this game competitively, you probably will go with NHL players, but there is still a lot of players who prefer using PWHL players as well. And if that's the case, they don't really need to wait until week 2 to make those cards. In the end of the day, it's the choice, so you don't really have to make the cards you don't want. But if people want to do that, at least it's an option. Because EA shared this information with me in advance, I also seen that they basically noted something like you'll be able to get these players through challenges, objectives, and packs. We all know then obviously these players will be in the packs because this is a marketing event and EA definitely is not losing on any of the pack sales. But the fact that they're mentioning challenges, which I'm assuming will be the moments, and objectives, gives me a hint that we potentially will see enough collectibles to maybe make 1 Team of the Year card for free. If that's the case, that's a massive W. We saw that in Fantasy event, and in all fairness, EA is quite generous this year with giving us a lot of free stuff. Maybe we'll see a B&D set for 1 random PWHL or NHL Team of the Year player, and if that's the case, I probably would use my 20 collectibles and risk it for, I don't know, anyone I can pull. Would be sad if I would pull Connor McDavid considering I have his X Factor, but if, let's say, you pull any other player you don't have, that's a W. If we talk about the Team of the Year event in general, I really don't like that they're calling it Team of the Year when it's actually like Line of the Year. I would like to see enough players so you can actually build a team of the Year players. And it's an easy fix. Just release 4 forwards from NHL and 4 from PWHL, and when we talk about the defense, it's pretty much the same. 3 from PWHL and 3 from NHL, and you already have 1 goalie from each league. So in that case, if you are super rich, and if let's say you have plenty of coins and don't have anything else to do, you could actually build a team from Team of the Year players, and that would be sick. Will it ever happen? Probably not, but if it doesn't happen, then why do you call it Team of the Year when you're just giving us enough players to pretty much make 1 line? Doesn't make sense. But a lot of things doesn't make sense this year or prior years, or you know what I mean. I'm definitely excited about some of the changes we will see, so I cannot wait for the event to drop next Friday. Obviously, we also have an event today, but I don't think really a lot of people will pay attention because everyone is saving for Team of the Year, and as much as I would hate that kind of mentality when you go all in for one event, but at least it's fun. So I guess we just need to wait and see to find out what the cards will look like, how much they will cost, and in general, what the event will look like. Let me know down in the comment sections below. Are you excited about Team of the Year? Will you try to make any of the players, and if yes, who? Other than that, I hope you enjoyed today's video, have a good one, and see you on the ice.